Alright, 11, Mr. Crutch, I'm going to go over this practice test with you. First off, two lines are parallel when they don't intersect and they're in the same plane. So here's a plane and they don't intersect, well, they must be parallel. Number two, when they do not intersect and they're not coplanar, well, that means they're in opposite planes, and the best way to do that is to think about a 3D space, and maybe that line there and that line there. It looks like they would intersect, but this line's up higher. It's like on the ceiling where this one's on the floor. Those are skew lines. 90 degree perpendicular. Must have a sum of 180 degrees. Well, this one and this one, I mean, this looks like it's about 50. This looks like it's about 130. You can't estimate that way. The acute angle and the obtuse angle, because they're alternating, or sorry, they're same side. These are same side interior, or we say consecutive. Alternating interior on the inside, and they're across from each other. 3 and 6, or 4 and 5. 2 and 5 are in the same location. The top left, that's corresponding. Angle 4, well, that's an obtuse angle. So corresponding to obtuse would be in the same location, bottom right. Corresponding to angle 4. This one, vertical angles, they're angles across from each other. They are equal. Consider the line, this line. Which line is parallel? Well, parallel means same slope. It's right there. Perpendicular, instead of 2/3, it is 3/2. How would you describe the following lines? This is 3, this is -3, so they're not parallel, but they're not perpendicular, because perpendicular would be 3/1 and -1/3. So you have to flip it, and that's not been flipped. Parallel to this line, that would be y is equal to mx plus b. Parallel, same slope. Put in the slope of 3, and now we substitute in this point, and that is 2, 6 plus b. B is now -4, and there's an equation with -4 as the b value. Going on to the other side. These are alternating exterior. They're both acute. They're both congruent. Solve the equation. Acute, they're corresponding. They're equal. These lines are parallel. These are acute, obtuse. Acute, obtuse make a 180 degree angle. They are same side interior. Vertical angles are congruent. Solve the equation. Are they perpendicular? No, they're both positive. We need a positive and a negative to be perpendicular. Here's my equation. Same slope, 3x. Enter this point, x, y, substituted in, there's the equation. Number 19, find the line perpendicular. Here's my slope. I change it to -2/3, and I plug in this point, x, y. Do the math, b is -1, it goes up there. I also converted this over into standard form by multiplying it by 3, and then moving this over here, and I have that equation. Diagram, the distance from A to the line, well, that's that straight distance. If you remember the constructions we did a point and we did a perpendicular line. So AD is perpendicular. Here's the equation, parallel line. Well, you have to do some manipulation here. Move this to this side, divide it by -1. Here's my equation. This equation transforms into here. It is 2 for a slope of a parallel line. You can plug in the point and solve for b. And again, I did went ahead and transformed it into a different form. 22, same thing. Transfer this equation into here. Here is my slope, but I want a slope of a perpendicular line. So it's no longer -5/2, it's 2/5. Input this point, figure out what b is, write it there. The equation of the line through these points, well, I got to find the slope, so I do 1 minus negative 4, which is 5, and 2 minus 3, which is negative 1. My slope is negative 5. And now I'm going to put negative 5 there, plus b. Input a point, any one you want to. I'm going to do this one. That's 1, 2, 1, negative 10, plus b. b is 11. There's my intercept. Lines contain two parts, slopes and intercepts, and they work together to make a line. Convert this equation, y equals 2/3 x minus 4/3. Convert this equation, y equals a negative 2/3 x. They're positive and negative, but they're not reciprocals. Well, they're not the same, so they're not parallel. They're not reciprocals, so they're not perpendicular. It's neither one. And the distance formula, subtract them. 5 minus negative 4 is 9. 8 minus 3 is 5. Square them. 106. There are no ways to simplify root 106. 10.3 is enough. Alright, hope this helps with your practice quiz.